I might regret doing this, but book at the ready to draw what I'm doing. After reviewing everything last week, I ended with a big in the corner, 5 standard ones, and then another big one. But even though I'm adding yarn to each square, I thought, well, really, I want 1 standard extra on either side, but that would give me an odd number. And I don't know if that would work or not. It might actually. Maybe it would be better with the odd number. I was thinking instead of having the 5 in the middle between the 2, I am dressed, by the way, just comfort. Instead of having the 5 between the 2 large squares, to do 8. But now I'm like, now I've said that out loud, maybe 7 would be better, because I'm just adding 1 more in the middle to bring the outside out a little bit. I might regret this, but anywho, I had been toying with an idea of how to join these, and the only problem with the 2 main methods is, one, I told everybody that I was using a cream worsted to join everything. That being said, there it is. And the other method, you don't use any wool at all, but I'm still a little bit clueless, naive, stupid on how to finish that other method off. And so back in my head is, you told everyone you were using cream, so use cream. So I'm going to use cream and cookies and cream. Look, it all works out. The other thing that I was toying with is when it comes to doing the white, to do it really higgledy-piggledy. Now this is where I would love you to interject, please, and let me know down in the comments, because quite honestly, I'm happy to frog. Okay, bear that in mind. So some people sent me 1, some 2, some 3, some 4 squares. What I was thinking was to maybe do the woolless seaming of those that come together. So as an example, these 4 all came together. Now if I put them together, I do them woolless, like when they're all touching, but on the outside, to group them, I use the cream. It's not something I've seen done, but it should be pretty easy to do. For now, I'm going to just do a standard seam and see what happens. But like I said, I am up for frogging. That's not an issue. I will be starting with the top left of the blanket, which is Gary Urban Yarns square, which will be my top left. And he'll also be linked down below, of course. You're going to see my amazing drawing now. Amazing drawing. How exciting is that? It's a square! And it's double, because when I do the standard squares, they'll just go down to that line and go across. That's the theory. One thing I haven't got is a pair of scissors. Why didn't I bring scissors in with me? Huh. I didn't bring scissors. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am going to keep it random. I mean, last week was to kind of visualize how big it'd be and roughly how I position things. As of now, we're joining. Excuse me. As of now, we're joining, and so I'm literally got the bag right under you. I'm just going to pull somebody out, and that's what we're going with. So, as they're on top, we're going to do the blue. Okay. Oh, hot flush. Whew. Whew. This is where I could use a yarn bowl, really, because if it falls on the floor, it might get covered in cat hair. It's quite the possibility. So I also want to do my best to try and make sure I get the front of people's work. So that's the front, and keep the fronts together. There will be the odd square that I'm like, oh, I don't know which the front is. Ah! And I'm going to panic a little bit because it will really annoy me. But number one is about to happen. And what I'm going to do is, in the back loop only of both squares, single crochet. And that's how I'm going to do it. So we'll see what happens. Why have I started up here? Like, Lisa, really, why have you started up there? You need to start down there. Good start. So that's the corner. I will use the chain space. I will use the entire stitch on that one. And off we go. Trying to keep them married up as best I can. And for each little section, come on through, please. I will kind of hold it up and show you. Each time I've done a little bit. And this is what I'm using is, I assume, a cotton acrylic blend mill end that I was given as a Happy Mail, and I've wanted to use it for absolutely ages and not had the right project to do so. And when this came into my noggin, ooh, that'd work nice. And so here I am. And I'm using size 5 hook. I could have done with a 5.5 really, but it works. And that's all that matters. So just trying to keep the stitches of both squares together. Now granted, everyone's tension is different, so everybody's stitches are going to be a different count to make up the 7 inches. So there will be a little bit of fiddling about, but it always works out. And thankfully, as this is my blanket, I ain't gonna judge so much. I'm just gonna treasure the fact that you guys have helped me make it. You know, you've put all the hard work in. You've kind of designed it in a sense. In a sense. You know, I've got the job of the finalising, but you guys have created the content. It's nice and soft. Nice. A moment, let's just see how well that lines up. Oh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Not too much faffing. I had a panic moment then, because I thought I had this blue one the wrong way around. Thankfully I don't. But yes, I ought to check that as well. Make sure everything's the right way up. Or does it matter? Does it matter? As long as the front is the front, does it matter which way up it is? Because a blanket can go any which way, right? And I have to say, I think this is the first time that I've crocheted in here. This is not my crochet domain. So this is a little bit weird for me. A little bit weird. Number 1. And I'm going to sneeze. Give it a second. When you gotta blow, you gotta blow. Apologies. Anywho, I'm going to just quickly put this one on. before I forget. Okay, so if I've got the L there, I'll put the B above. No, I won't. I'll put this one above. See, the only thing now is, do I go down there first or do I go along there first? My instinct is go along there first, carry on the way you're going. But then these need to join too. That's what scissors are for, Lisa. Yeah, I know. Let's get the corner. Corner is there. So far, with these two crocheters, they are not tight crocheters, which is very helpful. I'm sure there are going to be a couple of tighter crocheters in the mix, and I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. As I said last week, there's also, of course, a couple of squares that I might have to add a little bit on. If I do, that won't be on camera, I'll do it off camera, because I'll just do it in my own time when I've got a couple of spare minutes, you know. How long have we been going? Wow, okay. Okay, let me just judge, because I've got to do a little bit of fiddling. So we've got, let's put a stitch marker in for the moment. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if I skip 7, I might be okay. So many little technical elements that go into this that you don't really think of until you're faced with them, and then, oh, why didn't I think of that? Oh yeah, so I don't know whether I said that out loud or not. So these blue squares, there's 4. I'm on the second. These are from PJ, who is a member on the channel. And this big one in the corner is from Gary at Urban Yarns, and I've just done that wrong. Did I go into the left? Oh, yeah, I went into the wrong one. Well, that's a tight stitch, so I can actually get away with skipping 2. I think it's definitely a very, very Gary square. I'm not calling Gary a square. Gary is far from square, but Gary's square. It's very him. Very, very him. I think one big issue about crocheting in here is I can't bring a drink in. Thirsty. Oops. Oops. It's also nearly lunchtime, so I think I'll just wait till then and have a nice latte, I think. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left there. 1, 2, 3, 4 left there. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Oh, you know what I didn't bring in too? Oh my word. I didn't bring in a, and I was going to as well, I didn't bring in a tapestry needle. Because I very much am the type of person to, oops, excuse me, to sew in ends while I go. I don't like leaving ends just flip-flopping about, because then you're overwhelmed when you come to actually finally do them. Oh my gosh, so many ends. That's the last one going in for them. So I'm going to do that little bit next. That's back and that's the front. I think the cream, for the most part, for most squares, it should help elevate the squares a little bit, as in like make them stand out a bit. I hope that's the plan, you know, that's the plan. Scissors. Better just do a chain to close it off. I've got a nest above the bed. I've got a nest above the bed. Right, let's close that off. And I'm not a very big tail person either. I don't do big tails. I just find it a waste of wool. I do a lot of weaving backwards, forwards, up, down, diagonally before cutting off the excess, but I don't do lots and lots of tail. Okay, so let's put these two together. So those are together. Or should we do an extra one? I think we'll do an extra one. Just because. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. See, it wasn't that difficult, was it? The good thing about doing these squares together is because they're the same creator, they would most probably, not always, but most probably have the same amount of stitches, which means it's pretty much even going up. But I am going to check just in case. I usually do between a quarter and a third way before I then count what's left and see if it's going to marry up or if I need to play with it a little bit. And at the moment I am about a third. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. 13, so there's a difference of 3. Which isn't too bad. That's doable. Of course, the more you have to fiddle, the more likely there's going to be a bit of a ripple in the work. So you do have to be careful with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now there is going to be a little bit of fiddling around on this corner because I'm going to join on the next square in that corner. It wouldn't be a quiet crochet without the cramp. Okay, so I've got one more stitch to do. So I have to do this off camera because I've got to lay it down. And I've got to see about placing the third square. just see. Oh, it looks really nice. I like it. And that's the main thing. So I want the bee up there. So if I go for that one, so I need to go into the corner of both, Lisa. Bring that back. So back loop of that one, back loop of that one, and goes that way round. Maybe I should put that one in the middle. Back loop, and then the L. So I've got 3 loops on my hook. Which is some very weird kind of single crochet, but it's done. And now I shall continue up. To attach the bee, which I better write down before I forget it again. So this is up here. And I won't need to, when I'm drawing this out, I won't need to state what every square is. I'm only putting the names except on the corners, because then I know which way round it goes and whose square is whose. So I can always refer back to it and go, oh, the third one under the top left. Oh, that, and that's blah, 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 blah. They did that. And if you haven't sent your squares yet, there is still time. There's still a lot of blanket to join together. And you know that right now it's what, 20 minutes? It's 83 minutes. And I'm only just doing the 3rd square. Yes, it'll be a little bit quicker next week because there won't be quite so much faffing around and explaining and stuff. But, I mean, I estimated by the end of February this would be done, maybe. I think it might be a little bit longer. But it would be nice to know if you are sending a square or 2, if you could let me know down in the comments, please, roughly how many, no, not roughly, if you could let me know how many come in. I don't need to know the design, that'll be a nice surprise when it turns up. But if you can let me know how many, then I can adjust to make the space, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's another 3. 3. Yeah, that's good. Good, good, good. So it should have the same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I didn't need to do one more. Okay. Always double check your work. Always. It might be boring, it might take up time, but in the long run it will save you time and a lot of frogging. But I am still willing to frog, so if you think the other idea might have been a bit better, let me know and I'll frog this and I will redo. I do not have a problem with that. But this will be the last square for today. I'm definitely crocheting a couple of beanie hairs into it. That's another issue with Beany in here, because Beany sleeps on top of the bed and my wool is currently on top of the bed. So it's defuzzing the bed but fuzzing up the wool. And I think I'm gonna, don't you come any closer, don't you dare. Don't drop either. It's only a little one, but still. Yeah, I need to blow my nose. Give me a minute. Let me go blow me schnoz again. Hang on. When you gotta blow, you gotta go. Okay. So that needs to come down there. I could do that a couple of ways. And I think I'm going to use the not quite wasting so much yarn method and close that off. And we will continue that next week. So yeah, let me know which technique down below, please. Like I said, happy to frog. But so far, let's get rid of the tail. That one, off you come. Okay. So that's the first 4 squares on. Okay. So we have Gary and PJ. And next week I will finish off with PJ's 4th square, and then we will grab the next person. So far, ta-da! I will keep that stitch marker actually on the square that I still need to do. And on the corner there. Wrap the hook in there as well so that doesn't get lost. Put it on top of the bag with the wool I'm using and the wonderful design that I'm creating. Anywho, that's this week. Next week we shall continue. Until then, I bid you a farewell and Happy New Year.